What is up guys, my name is Ignas, welcome back to the channel. February passed, so we are back with a dividend portfolio and Revolut update. I've added new money in, bought into 2 stocks and received dividends. First we'll go through the transactions history on the app, and then we'll take a look into the portfolio tracker on Google Sheets to further check how it is going with the progress. An early thumbs up is appreciated, and with that out of the way, let's start. Now we have the transactions history open, so on February 2nd I added $400 new in, but have yet to decide on which stocks to buy. February 4th was the first dividends for the month. One is consumer discretionary lows, ticker symbol LOW, $4.46, and then communication services Comcast, CMCSA, dividend of $2.77. On the 5th I used the cash added. Both buys were from the tech sector. So $200 went into Qualcomm QCOM. I got 1.44 of a share at $130.59 per share. And another 200 buy was Microsoft MSFT. Got 0.49 of a share at $404.99 per share. Later on we'll go into the portfolio tracker to further check how these positions are now performing. Going further up on February 9th, the dividend was from Financials, MasterCard, ticker symbol MA. Plus $1.45. Then February 12th, consumer discretionary, D.R. Horton, DHI, $1.31. On the 13th, tech name paid, Accenture, ticker symbol ACN, dividend of $2.97. On the 18th, we have another tech ASML, plus $2.46. Then on the 19th, one of the largest positions paid, Industrials Caterpillar, ticker symbol CT, $3.68, and then we finished the month strong with 3 names paying on the 27th. So we have Financials Charles Schwab SHW, $2.23, then Consumer Discretionary Starbucks SBUX plus $5.30, and again Financials Citi C, $2.27. So these were all the moves and the dividends for the month of February. And now let's go into the portfolio tracker on Google Sheets to further check into the dividend progress. So we are now in the tracker and the tab for monthly dividends. I've summed up all that was received in the month of February, and for the month it came at $20.90. Comparing it to what we saw 3 months back in November at $24.89, so we are up for $4. But interestingly, comparing it to February of last year, the sum was just $9.07. So we now have a 3x increase, growth of 218.6%. So far, summing the dividends for this year, it comes at $52.69, meaning that we should definitely be over $300 for the year, hopefully closer to that $400 mark. Now I would also like to check not only how much in dividends we are receiving, but what expenses actually can be covered with it. So right now the portfolio should be bringing $386.13 in after-tax dividends every year, which comes in at $32.18 per month, or $1.06 every day. So with this dividend income, we can finally cover the monthly clothing expense at $32, currently 100.6% of it, and now we can go to the next expense at entertainment. I have it set at $40 per month. So we currently with dividends could be covering 80.4% of it. Now summing up all the standard monthly expenses, it is set at $695 and we are just below 5% of it at 4.6%. So we have checked into the dividend progress and what can be covered with them. But now let us take a look how the positions in the portfolio are performing. So in February I've added money into 2 names. One was Microsoft MSFT, currently holding 3.587 of a share. Cost basis here now is $1,100, and the position is worth $1,453.44. This means that we are up here for $353.44, an increase of 32.13%. Now Microsoft takes 5.57% of the overall portfolio, and it is 24.42% of exposure in the information technology sector. Currently the stock is trading at a dividend yield of 0.89%, and since we are up on this position, yield on cost here is 1.18%, and this brings $12.98 in dividends on an annual basis. Now another stock that we bought into was Qualcomm, ticker symbol QCOM, currently holding 8.674 of a share. Cost basis here is $1,205, and market value is pretty much right there at $1,210.06, meaning that we are barely up on it, plus 0.42%. This position takes 4.63% of the portfolio and 20.33% of exposure in the information technology sector. Dividend yield here is 2.59%, and we have yield on cost at 2.6%, meaning that this position brings $31.31 in dividends every year. Now the largest position in the portfolio remains ASML. I recently trimmed a bit on it, but still holding 1.5 of a share. We have a cost basis here of $1,031, and the position is worth $2,128.82, meaning that we are up almost $1,000 on it, an increase of 106.48%. The largest position in the portfolio takes 8.15% of it, and 35.77% of exposure in the information technology sector. Current dividend yield is 0.72%, with our yield on cost being 1.49%, and this position brings $15.36 in dividends on an annual basis. For the portfolio, they should be coming in at $454.27. This is a dividend yield on the portfolio of 1.74%, but it's nice to see that the yield on cost on the portfolio is higher, currently at 2.49%. And if we are looking at the after-tax dividend that we saw previously, our take-home dividend is $386.13. Overall, the portfolio is now worth $26,111.52, and we ourselves deposited $18,280. So we are now looking at a gain of $7,831.52, an increase of 42.84%, and currently an annualized return of 6.62%. So we have checked into the dividend progress and how the positions in the portfolio are performing, but now we need to determine which market sector or sector should be the focus with next month's cash addition. So in February, we added into information technology. We currently have $5,951.19 there. This is 22.79% of the portfolio, and we have a target set at 24%. So even after the latest cash addition, we still have room for more deposits, but there are two more sectors in the red. One is communication services. We have $1,274 there. That takes 4.88% of the portfolio with a target of 6%. And another red one is healthcare. Currently we have $3,590.67. This is 13.78% of the portfolio, and the target is set at 15%. So I think it is safe to assume that two of these three will be the focus for next month's cash addition. Just need to determine which stocks exactly will be those picks. So that was it with today's dividend portfolio update for the month of February. If you are interested in more details, or potentially using this dividend portfolio tracker for yourself, you can access it free of charge by following the first link at the top of the description. All I ask in return is supporting the channel and leaving a thumbs up under the video. Previously I've made a dividend comparison on a few dividend paying stocks, so if you are interested in that, then click on a video that is currently on the screen. And that was it from my side. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.